First, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom to all the Akim pushing this word across the earth in all truth and sincerity. This is really my first video, so it may be a little rough around the edges, but the main goal is to get a lot of the basic Israelite stuff out of the way for the unlearned or for those that don't know or that are new coming into this thing. First off, you have to separate yourself from America. You can't take on all America's wicked customs, because if you get to know the Bible, you know that this place is so wicked in the Lord's eyes, and many people are just confused because, a lot of people are misled because this place continues to go on. But one thing you have to learn that the scriptures tell you is 1,000 years to us is as one day to the Lord. So to the Lord, everything that happened to the Israelites in the past here in America was only like yesterday or earlier today, And when I say Israelites, I'm speaking to you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans out there, and Seminole Indians. Basically, Hosea 4:6, our people were destroyed for a lack of knowledge. But the sad thing is, most of them reject that knowledge. They don't even want it, You try to approach somebody and try to, share the truth with them, and most of the time they don't want to hear it. They don't even have 5 seconds to give you. They keep it moving. They don't want to hear it. Basically, at that point, I found all you can do is just try to get out what you need to get out as quick as possible. Even if you have to yell out, that we are still responsible for the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. Throw out a couple of scriptures if you can. Make sure they hear you. You got to try to get their blood off your hands, we have a job coming out here, and we try to push this truth. You can't just learn the truth and then sit on it, You got to be a doer of the word, not just a hearer, Some of the main things that our people are guilty of is, taking on these customs of America, Babylon, wicked Babylon. Most people don't know that, in Revelations, mostly chapter 17, chapter 18, when you read about daughter of Babylon, mystery Babylon, Babylon the Great, it's speaking of America. Because if you know anything about history, Babylon had already been taken down by the time Revelation was written. And on top of that, if they would have wrote, if America would have been written in Revelations, they just would have took that out of there, But anyway, some of the main things our people are guilty of is, this homosexuality. America's so wicked, it pushes it out, makes it okay for our people to do. You can't assume just because the law of the land makes it okay. The law of the land doesn't supersede the Heavenly Father. He said that's the way it was, and just because America and the white man tells you it's not that way, it doesn't change the way the Lord feels about it, Another thing is adultery. A lot of misconception out there about what adultery really is. Adultery, basically, the way a man commits adultery is he goes after a woman that already has a man or a boyfriend, a husband or a boyfriend, And for a woman, if you have a man and you're out there fooling with other niggas or Hispanics or whatever be the case, or even some heathens, white boys, Asians, whoever, that's adultery. And in a righteous society, committing adultery will have you put to death. But in America, it's upheld. It's okay, And so that confuses a lot of our people, makes them think it's okay, But it's not okay. And once the Heavenly Father comes back, they're going to be destroyed. Because Zechariah 13:8 will tell you that 1/3 of our people are going to make it. 2/3 aren't going to make it, And, separate yourselves from 2/3. If you see 2/3, we all know 2/3, you got to separate yourself from, because if you hang with them, you end up picking up some of their habits. You just don't want to get caught up in that shit with them. What are some of the other things in America that is upheld? The food laws. These stupid churches that tell you that the food laws are done and over with because it's in the Old Testament, but that's not the case. Our people love to eat pork, love to eat everything abominable. If the Lord said don't eat it, our people want it. Shrimp, lobster, catfish, octopus, squid. Some of the Latin tribes, they love to eat ceviche. And nothing against them in particular, but it's just the truth. Love to eat ceviche, love to put, shrimp, squid, octopus on it, all that abominable shit. You know, you're not supposed to be eating pork. Those are the main food laws that our people are guilty of. You're not supposed to be eating anything, you know, you're not supposed to be eating your meat rare. You know, it's not supposed to be bloody or red or pink. What else? You're really not supposed to consume fat either, but, you know, in this society, it's not that easy to dodge it sometimes. Just do the best you can. You're supposed to keep the Sabbath, you know. Sabbath is not from Friday night to Saturday night. The Sabbath changes every month based upon the new moon, when the new moon comes in, you know. At the moment right now, it's Wednesday sundown to Thursday sundown, and that's here in the month of September. You know, September 30th, I believe it changes again, but I'll make another video with the specifics on the Sabbath and you know, when it comes in and you know, what day it changes to. You know, that's about it for now. Shalom.